Nintopics Podcast, all things Nintendo. Yeah!
Welcome.
Podcast, all things Nintendo.
Welcome. Welcome. I heard myself there for a second, like 3 times in a row. I'm like, what? Twilight Zone? What is this? Welcome to the Nintopics Podcast. We are live, and most importantly, we are back. Wait, that's not the one I'm supposed to look at. Well, hold on. Like a practice here. Hold on. I think it's this one. That one. There we go. Welcome everyone to the Nintopics Podcast. We are back after a little vacation due to health reasons and other things. And so we are glad to be back here talking video games, having fun with you guys, and just having a chill time here. In this little square thing you have in your hand, either in your hand or in on TV. Let me know in the chat, where do you guys watch this the most? Are you a mobile phone person? Like, are you like that, watching all little faces in the screen, or are you like on actual TV, or are you on the computer? Because I've heard all of it. I heard like, Mike, I watched the podcast on my TV with the family. Like, oh, that's awesome. Oh, Mike, I watched the podcast on my phone. My phone died. I can't watch it. I'm like, oh man, So let me know where you guys watch your podcast. And I want to introduce the co-hostess. Is that the plural?
Yeah,
Co-hostess?
It works.
The co-hostess with the mostest. I'm gonna start with Vandy. 3, 2, 3.
Hello, I am Vandy323. I am one half of the Pokemon experts here, and it's good to be back. The vacation was needed for a few of us,
Yeah.
but we're back, and I'm excited. I'm especially excited for all you Mario fans out there.
Yeah,
It's gonna
I gotta
be-
make
y'all are
correction.
eating. Y'all are eating.
I gotta
Very
correct-
well.
I gotta make correction though. It's not Pokemon expert, it's Pokemon master.
My bad. That's on me. That's on me.
The master.
Pokemon
Oh,
master.
In your
That's on me.
case, it's like shiny master, which is still a myth.
That is also I've been known to dabble in the shiny hunting.
Yeah, Lynn's tried to
for sure.
confuse me. Like she caught one the other day on stream. Like, nah, she's using some kind of mod to change her
Yeah,
colors.
yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
she obviously hacked that in. Silly.
Right. All
Clearly.
right, take it away, Lynn's. What is going on?
Hello. For a lot of you, this is my first time being in front of a camera again, and the first time since a week. But I have been freed from my subathon. I have just been taking this entire last week to just relax and breathe.
Unwind.
And I don't know. I read a book. I looked at a book, and that was very strange. You know, existing, going to the store, things I didn't do before this. So it's great to be back.
Unwind.
What am I saying?
I think I heard it on I don't know what show was it. I heard something like a phrase called unwind, relax. Relax, unwind and relax at the same time. Yeah, I think it's one of those shows. I watch too much TV. Take it over, Joy CJ. How have you been doing today?
Hello, I've been doing really well. And first, let me just say it's so great to be back to just talk about games. It's such a great week for gaming, no matter what kind of gamer you are. And also, chat, my food got here super, super late, so I'm going to be disappearing periodically to take a bite of my extremely healthy salad. Because, yeah, sure, salad. Yeah.
Salad.
Yeah.
Is it chicken wings? Is it ribs?
Burger. It's a burger.
Oh, wait, hold on. I know where it's from. Calvers.
Actually, no. There's a place here called Texas Hamburger Company that's probably a couple steps above Culver's.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. If you're ever in Texas, Mike, don't worry. There's no shortage of burger places.
Okay, yeah. And well, speak about Texas. Are you in Texas, Landon?
Oh no,
You in California?
I'm in Ohio.
Ohio.
I thought you were in Texas.
I'm in a complete
Not even
opposite.
close.
Right. I'm like, wait, hold on. He's in my time zone then.
Yep. I'm EST.
I thought you were like in all the way at the other side of the world over there, like near Japan.
Unfortunately, I'm just Ohio.
So how have you been doing, man? How are you?
I've been. I mean, Mike, you know what week it is.
Congratulations, man! Congratulations.
You know what week it is. You know how I'm doing. I mean,
This week was made for Landon.
It's Wonder Week. It's Wonder Week.
time for some Mario. Yeah, it's time to have a good week. So
Yeah.
I mean, I got all the games coming out this week. I just got Sonic. I haven't put it in, and Mike, you didn't really convince me to put it in because it's mixed reviews out there. But
Yeah.
I got Sonic on the list, Spider-Man, Mario, but of course they're gonna have to wait. It's Mario week, so I'm just on a high right now. That's how I'm doing.
Yeah. I mean, it's awesome. I was given the code for Sonic, and when I was playing it, I started enjoying it because I started getting nostalgia right from the soundtrack. Sometimes it goes into the old fashioned soundtrack when you go in. You know Sonic 1 and 2 where you enter this little pearl thing and it takes you to this level where it's like turning around and you're supposed to kind of and try to get into the little pearl thing, and then so it has that same thing in there. Sorry, spoiler. But it's a bit weird. It's a bit weird. Yeah, I'll let you guys make up your mind. I won't say too much about it, but 70 Metacritic score sounds about right. I would say sounds about right. Not too horrible, not too great either, but right there in the middle. I think Sonic fans are gonna love it. That's all I can say. Sonic fans will like it. I'm more into the Mario verse, and I'm totally in love with the Flower Kingdom. So I'll kick that off. Those are the games I've been playing. And anybody else? What games have you been playing lately? I've been stuck in Target playing Mario Wonder. With kids all around me, just kind of stay. I'm like, no, I'm gonna stay right here all day, all day. Can I play? Sure. In about in a little while, my time the demo runs over, and I like start over.
I'm doing research, children.
Research on Sonic or Mario Wonder or Target or kids.
Gaming research. I have to understand what you youngins are into, so I have to stand here and play this demo for 2 hours.
So let's go ahead and break it up with London. What have you been playing lately?
Pretty much the same as you. I mean, I'll ask my wife all the time, you want to go to Target? You want to go get some clothes? And she'll go shop, and I'm just over there like as much as I can at that first 4 levels. But I mean, I haven't been playing anything. I've been just kind of preparing for Mario.
Yeah, right.
I finished everything for the most part. I mean, for a while, I just kind of went back to Tears of the Kingdom because it's around that time to go back and collect some stuff, more Korok seeds and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But that's about it. I've just been waiting.
That's awesome. Yeah, that anticipation. Friday is about to be here, and I cannot wait because Mario Wonder. And let's take it over to Vandy. Vandy, what have you been playing lately?
Well, as you know, I very rarely play a ton of games off stream unless it's Tears of the Kingdom or a big release like that. And unfortunately, I'm not a big 2D Mario guy.
Mm-hmm.
So happy for you guys though.
Yeah.
But just like this kind of ties into Linz and I's news in the corner, but we had a Pokemon Unite patch. And it's the greatest thing that has hit the game in so long. The big boss, stupid Pokemon Mewtwo that has been ruining the game. It's still really good, but like it's not as good. It's still up there, but it's manageable. It's not like you see it, you lose.
Yeah.
And so I have been playing a little bit of Pokemon Unite, trying it out. A Pokemon I just picked up also got some strength. It's stronger now. It's better. So perfect time to pick it up, I guess. But other than Pokemon Unite, not a whole lot, unfortunately. Linz and I have a really big trip convention thing coming up soon, so I am in full prep mode and full just channel transition mode as well. So
nice. So talk about where you headed. That way, if anybody's out there, they can go see you guys.
Yeah. Well, there's a specific niche that I'm in right now. And it's called this thing called a Then We Battle video. And so they've been around for about 2 years, and so many people do them now. And if it works for them, it works for them. And that's awesome. I'm really proud of them. Yeah. But I feel like for me, there's only so much I can do to kind of make that kind of format of a video my own without copying someone else or feeling like, I'm not a content creator. I'm a content copier, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, those are the videos that do well and pay the bills. So it's this awkward transition of almost being forced to do them because I need to pay the bills while also trying to transition to a different style of video, more like fulfilling and more something that I want to do, and hopefully having those do well instead of being like caught in this just circle of just the same Then We Battle over and over and over again. So that's something that I'm definitely trying to navigate, I guess is the word. But I'm excited. I have a lot of videos that will hopefully help me out, but YouTube's hard, man.
Yeah, it is. And trust me, I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about because in the news genre, you always have to hit what's trending. And if you don't have a bit of what's trending in your news, doesn't matter what you talk about, that video is going nowhere. And right now, Switch 2. So it's been Switch 2 for the longest time. And if the video has no Switch 2 title on it, it's not in the title, it's not in the thumbnail. You can have other stories, it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to go anywhere. And Nintendo will not push it. I don't think they'll even alert it. I get some people like, I'm not getting the alerts. I'm like, oh, forgot. Wait, Switch 2 title. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I know exactly what you're talking about. But hey, that's good. Keep grinding, pushing hard, finding new ways to innovate. Your videos are awesome already. So
I appreciate it. I'm very excited. I have a massive video that's finally fully done recorded. It has like 7 or 8 other people. So it was massive. It was awesome.
That's cool.
It could not have gone better in terms of the actual recording, but I'm really pumped for it. I'm really pumped
That's
for it.
awesome. That's awesome. Lind, take it over. What have you been playing lately? It's Subathon. Jeez.
I was gonna say I played a lot during Subathon. The main thing I probably picked up that's probably the most relevant is I picked up the new Detective Pikachu.
Mm-hmm.
So
First impressions. Be honest. Go ahead.
With
Go ahead.
kindness and love in my heart. I think that it looks like it's straight out of Blender. And for those of you who don't know what Blender is, it is the 3D modeling system that everyone uses to make like your 3D games and animations. And when they don't take time to shade it and make things look pretty, it ends up looking like an early 2005 video game.
Animated.
And I think Detective Pikachu was very much so a very it's basically like a side scroller, but it's 3D graphics that look like they were made in 2005. Like if
like
you
that
would have
baby,
given
like that baby animation they did in Pixar when they first started.
more like if you would have handed me that Detective Pikachu game and told me it was made in 2005 and like originally released on like the Wii, maybe I'd say it's a little higher than GameCube quality. I would have believed you.
Wow. Okay.
It was a really big letdown, actually. Like my chat voted for it. We were all like really, really excited to play it because I hadn't played the first one, so I didn't know what I was going into, to be honest with you. So I had an open mind, and the entire chat collectively, and they're all Pokemon fans, said,
"Yeah, of course,
can you play something else?" And I think that was a really big moment for me personally.
I'm so
where
sorry,
I was like, wow, my entire Pokemon audience who voted for me to buy this game on stream, we didn't even get like 2 hours in. And we gave it a second try the next day or a couple days later. And all of us collectively were like, it was painful to get through. It hurt. And it makes me sad because I wanted to like it. I think another big factor is I think it is definitely a game that's more geared towards a younger audience. Not to say that adults can't play it, but I think a lot of the charm to the game definitely would resonate with a younger audience more than it would someone who's my age demographic, which is fine. And I'm glad that they're reaching all of their audiences and stuff like that. But it was definitely not what I have expected to come out of Pokemon in 2023. is the main thing, which was kind of sad. Hi, Paul.
Paul.
How's it going?
It's going, Paul.
Happy to see you.
Yeah, just in time. We were asking the chat around, what have you been playing? And I'm waiting. Go ahead, Paul.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, your turn.
Oh, good timing. Well, actually, kind of fitting because one, I just finished teaching martial arts class, and two, the game that I've been playing lately has been Mortal Kombat 1.
There you go.
Nice.
And I also, I mean, everybody, let's see, how do I say it? You've all seen Cobra Kai, right?
Yeah.
Or Karate Kid?
Yeah.
Yes.
This is the All Valley State Championship location.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Whoa.
As a fun little piece, if you look up the old Karate Kid movie and you'll see that this is the Matadome, which is at my university, and that's where I teach. So when I teach karate here and I drop a cool fact like that, they're like, oh. But anyways, unrelated, kind of, but I had.
But that's cool though. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's a good place. Like the valley is pretty happening place for martial arts. Tons of dojos, tons of dojongs and martial arts studios, but only one university, and that's CSUN. So. Pretty cool. Anyways, yeah, Mortal Kombat 1. Been playing a lot of that on both the Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 5, and I think the Nintendo Switch version is good, and that some of it was blown out of proportions. I put up a very real video comparing the Nintendo Switch version and the PS5 version pre-Switch patch, so when it was at its roughest. And did it take long to load? Yes. Was there a little bit of slowdown here and there? Yeah. Did a couple of things glitch out? Yes. But it's not that bad. you're not pausing the game midway through, coming up close to the screen, taking a look and being, oh, yep, that's off. You're probably playing from your couch several feet away in their living room or wherever, and you're enjoying the experience as it's playing through. And if something's not perfect in the moment, is the gameplay fun? Are the graphics overall solid? Good amount of characters, good amount of music and moves. Are the controls tight? Is the story fun and the voice acting? Like, there's so much more to it that I think it's a fun experience. And post-patch, actually, it's made a significant improvement. So if you're on the fence of Mortal Kombat 1 and you want to see what's a real take on it, like how will you, the podcast viewer, be experiencing the game? Yeah, you could look and see other people's videos where it's exactly full screen, but you're going to play it from the couch. You're going to play it from a real perspective and just have fun. And you'll see that I have fun in both videos. And PS5 version looks better, runs better, but it's not bad either way. It's a really good game. Like, I think it's also pretty easily accessible by casual fighting fans because there are a couple of different play styles. There are some easy ways to pull off fatalities, decent tutorial, and you can crank the story mode all the way down to easy. And then you're getting a several-hour movie, like a good quality CG movie.
Really?
They pumped a lot into it. Mortal Kombat, ever since NetherRealm Studios took over for the MK1 reboot, you watch a scene unfold, and then it gets into a fight between those two characters. And those two characters fight, and it rolls seamlessly into a new cinematic, and that takes place for several minutes. So you're treated to like a several-hour experience of back and forth, well done, well choreographed voice acting and scenes. That's really good if you like martial arts at all, and don't mind violence, because it is violent, right? And then you're playing and fighting. The online's good, MK1. But this Friday, oh my gosh, I'm pretty sure I didn't get to hear the six of you talk earlier, which, by the way, Lynn's nice new hair.
Thank you.
I could see that. My phone's a little bit smaller than, computer monitor, but I like the new edition. That's cool. And everyone's hair looks good too, by the way. But
thank you.
But special shout out, I guess, because that's new.
It's new that our hair looks good.
What's that?
It's new that our hair looks good. I thought we all always look good.
It just looks good today. I don't want to only compliment one person, but one person happens to have the most.
My hair looks top notch.
Mike, I can't see your hair, to be fair. Landon, I can't see your hair, to be fair. But
you technically can't see mine.
What I can see looking good. But I'm sure you all said Super Mario Bros. Wonder is what you're going to be playing this weekend, right? Maybe that and Spider-Man 2, probably.
Yeah. I've been to Target about maybe 5 to 6 times already. Just kind of pushing kids away, playing Mario Wonder. Just so I like it actually. I like pushing kids away, just taking away their time from.
No, my turn.
It's pretty fun.
Now, Vandy, I remember you're not the biggest 2D Mario fan. Have the reviews or any of the feedback swayed you into you know what? I'll give this one a try, or still, it's not really my thing, and that's okay. But just curious, because there's a lot of hype kind of around this one.
I've definitely seen a lot of the reviews, and what it's definitely done is made me more excited for you guys, for the Mario fans, which I'm included, but it's the 2D Mario fans that are really getting the massive love right now. I'll probably just have to see it. I'll have to see a lot of the gameplay. I'll have to see a lot of the levels, because for side scrollers, to me, I just feel very limited in what I want to do. I am a big open world gamer. That is I want to be distracted by 80,000 different things at all times. Tears of the Kingdom, Genshin Impact. When I was growing up, my favorite game was RuneScape. It is just do whatever you want to, whenever you want to. And when you're doing something, you're going to get sidetracked by something else. Whereas 2D Mario, it's the designs could be cool. The power-ups could be awesome. The levels could be beautiful, but it's just beat this level. You only have one way you can go, and it's to the right. You could jump up and down, but you got to go this way. And maybe to the left to backtrack, but then there's a wall.
I don't want to spoil anything, but this is 2D Mario. You can do a little more than that,
which is good. And I'm sure in 2023 they've figured out a way not to make it the same experience as the very first Mario game. But when I feel trapped and like forced to do something very linear, that's where I'm like, this just doesn't like it's a little repetitive. And so again, that's my take. I'm so excited for you guys to play that. I might buy it once I see it.
Yeah.
But if this was a 3D Mario game, different conversation, game over. I'm buying it, playing it day one. I'm beating until I fall asleep. Like it's crazy.
And let's take it over to Joycey. Joycey, have you told us what you've been playing lately?
Unfortunately, I haven't been playing much other than the game of life. My favorite cousin comes in next week. We haven't seen each other since we were little girls, and we're 40s now. So we talk almost every day. But I'm just so excited to see her. Like, words cannot express. So I admit something a little bit more than gaming. But in the meantime, in between time, I am always losing at Splatoon. Yay.
Hey, when your cousin comes over, take one of your old pictures and you have to redo that picture. Like, do that picture and put it side by side. I think that's like the new thing, right? When you kind of
I haven't found any. I need to ask her if she has some.
So find a picture that's really old of you two and then do that same pose or something like that and like side by side.
And recreate it. I love that.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Be fun.
Awesome. Cool.
And of course, last but not least, I left Landon for the last because I know he has. I know Landon. It's Landon's week. You know, and so Landon's videos this week have been booming. I mean, he's been on the top all the time, like crazy. I think the other day he made 200 or 400 subscribers in one video.
It was like 450. I don't know where it came from.
Yeah, I mean,
I have no idea how that is.
That's crazy.
That is
so Landon's on fire when it comes to Mario. Crazy. So Landon, I'm gonna say, go ahead, take the floor, man. Take the floor.
All right. Well, it is time, Mario fans. It is time to get hype. Man, I don't know where to start because we've been getting lots of Mario everything, little spin-offs and stuff, but we've been waiting for this mainline something, either 2D or 3D since Odyssey. So it feels really good to finally get hype like this again. I'm already getting ready to go to like the midnight launch at my local GameStop. So I'm ready for this thing. Like I'm there. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this is a huge deal because as someone that loves every type of Mario game, I completely understand where Vandy's coming from because even me, like I've needed something to kind of push us forward past New Super Mario Brothers. There never was anything there that really, made me say, you guys got to play this. You got to try this. Like, man, this is gas, something like that. But this finally was something that like, I think a lot of people opened up, like this changes everything a lot for 2D Mario. It's not just simply, new item, new power up, a couple new enemies, you're done. This is like that Wonder Flower, just changing the stage, changing the characters and what they turn into. Obviously I'm not talking about any spoilers or anything. I got spoiled by stuff on YouTube. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, we are in for a treat with this game. There are so many crazy things that they flesh into this game. But yeah, I think it's the next step because as somebody that thought Mario Maker was it, I thought, after Mario Maker, we're just going to keep getting Mario Maker updates, Mario Maker 3 and stuff. But it shows that Nintendo, and I know we'll get into this later. I want to talk about that, the interview with the developers. And I think it shows a lot about how much love they had for this, how much passion, like all the ideas and how they were talking about like even like the sound team and the music team were even, they was like, you guys can help us too. You're part of the development team. Come in our office and tell us what you want in this game. I think that's amazing. That's incredible. And that just shows, it was a fun work environment. This all was like being produced during COVID. And it's just like, it's such a huge, it shows like, not only is this a game with love and care, it had like a great family of people behind it. And, I can't wait, and I'm trying to not spoil myself. It's hard when you're going on social media and you see a thumbnail and you're like, I can click this. I can see what's going on here. But we're almost there, about a day left. And I'm excited.
Yeah. I have to agree. I mean, the game is just, it's so different and it's so new and it's so fresh. And I know that there's a lot of, I would say people are so on the fence about the voice actor, Kevin, I think it's Kevin Afghani, but I have to tell you, and I have to be completely honest, I do love Charles Martinet. I had him here on the channel such a wonderful person, such a wonderful being. Paul knows him personally, you know, and of course Charles is the voice of Mario. He created the voice of Mario. When in his first audition, he said, make up a voice for this, and he created from his heart, from his mind, the voice of Mario, and he has been Mario until recently, right? And he will continue to be Mario, right? And so every voice actor, and I've been telling my viewers this, every voice actor has to follow the footsteps. They can't create their own voice. They have to do Mario. And who's Mario? Charles Martinet. That's his voice, you know? And so Charles Martinet will live. Who knows? I mean, he will live forever through that voice that he created when he first auditioned as Mario. And then now moving to Kevin Afghani, I take my hat off to this voice actor because he did such a wonderful job. I listened to the voice to his voice separately because it's online. Somebody put it online and you can hear all the. I wanted to listen to it just to see how he sounded. He did a great job at bringing Mario to life. Yeah, there is his pitch and there is his tone of voice. You can see it. You can hear it a little bit in the voice acting. But he did bring Mario to life, and then Mario in the game sounds fresh. It sounds fun. It sounds exciting. It sounds wonderful. It's one of the new catchphrases. And what is it? Wowzy dowsy, was it?
Wowie
zowie, right? Is that the new catchphrase? You know, wowie zowie, something like that. You know, it's like so. It was. There's new catchphrases out there, and so the game feels so amazing, so fresh, and so fantastic, and just. There's so much to it. It's just crazy. I can't wait for the Friday because we've only touched the surface of it. The demo is only the surface of it. There's so much more that the developers promised. And this is a good segue to move to developers because the interview, we found out that the developers for Super Mario, Nintendo just said, hey, take your time. Take your time. Take your sweet time. Just do the game you want to do. And Landon brought something in that I probably missed during the interview, and it's about the music. This is a very musical game.
Yes.
Like the music is incredible. Like if you look around, even the little steppies with the little notes on them, you know, and then other courses, it's a very, very musical game. There's a lot of changes in the music in one level, which is super exciting. And it kind of drives you into what's happening when you eat that Wonder Flower. Does he eat it? I still don't know. Does he touch it?
I couldn't tell.
I don't know. That's a good
question. He just touches it like. I mean, I guess he just touches it like you know, like touching like the power up flower, right?
Yeah.
But he
and
uses
so
a mushroom in the movie.
Yeah. Right.
The music helps create the gameplay. You know, usually you create a level, and then the way Nintendo operates, and then they create the graphics, the visuals, the story around that. You know, and then. They did most of that here too as well, probably, but the fact that they had like musical ideas and then that have a gameplay element from it, we're going to experience some different types of gameplay, you know, in the game. Even with my 1 hour session, I wanted to replay the stage, and then you have the stamps. Forget about the music for a moment, the stamps. So you're really getting music, stamps, multiplayer, motivation to replay a stage again because you're going to have different perspectives, different things you didn't. Or whether it's just, you know, collectible stuff or new mysterious ways to go about it. I'm stoked.
And so Gear Jojo's developers, I want to hear from the crew, because we don't hear this a lot. We don't hear a developer say in any studio, "Oh yeah, take your time, take your free time. Whenever the game comes out, it comes out. Even if it comes out for the next gen, okay, yeah, it was next gen." You know. But I want to hear what Joycey thinks about this.
I'm so let me explain to you how excited I am for Wonder. For those who don't know, my favorite game is in the Mario franchise, despite them all being great, is still Super Mario World on the SNES.
Yeah.
I mean, the leap from Mario 3 to Super Mario World, and there's a secret in every corner, and it's like, oh my gosh, we get a friend, a dinosaur friend, Yoshi, and And then he comes in different colors, and then there's the Star Road and the music and my inner 10-year-old is like going absolutely bonkers right now. And one of the things I always associate with Mario is just pure joy. And let me explain something to y'all. There's happy and there's joy. Happy is can be fleeting at times. Pure joy is like happiness and peace at the same time. And that's what I feel like when I'm playing Mario. And Wonder's giving me those same vibes. And that's what makes me so excited. I loved all the other Marios. Mario Odyssey, I think, is one of my favorite 3D Marios.
Yeah.
But to be like feeling like 10 years old every time I see pictures or I see a trailer, or I'm like, ooh, what does that do? And what is that? And it's like I'm almost wondering, are we going to get like all those little secrets, all those little back secret roads and star roads and everything else again? Mario's lit. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Yeah. I'm so excited. So that's all I got to say. I'm sorry how corny that came off, but yeah.
I mean,
not corny at all. That's passion. That's love.
That's passion. Exactly. You took me back to my childhood with that comment. You took me back to my childhood. I'm like, man, you get watery eyed or what do you call it? When you think
watery eyed.
Yeah, when you think about it, because I remember it takes me back to the first time I played Mario. Mario 3 is my favorite one, but also looks a lot like Mario World, because that's when they started doing the map. The map where you kind of go from point to point like that, and that's how it's always kind of been, right? And Mario Wonder also has its sort of map as well, where you go from level to level outside of the actual levels. But I want to go and then start Vandy. If anybody like thinking about how these developers, okay, how these developers had all the time in the world to make this game, okay. How do you feel about that? Bring it in. Yeah, just let it out. Let it out.
Well, again, as the one half of the Pokemon Masters here, and I just think that my number one goal that I hope that Mario Wonder shows to Nintendo is that rushed games are never going to please their audience. It might sell because it's, if you sell it, they could sell a Pokemon game and it is just not that good, and it'll still outsell a majority of their other main character or their main their main games. But the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet game that we got, and I get that we've talked about this before, they have to follow a set schedule because everything needs to release at the same time for them. But I really hope Nintendo sees, with the amount, like the incredibly high reviews that Mario Wonder has gotten, that is what happens when you let developers work. When you let the team work, you let them, you let them do everything they want to do without breathing down their necks that they have less and less time every single day that passes. It's like you said, they had over 200 ideas. I highly doubt that this team even remotely had that, not because they're not creative. The team for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, they didn't have time to do that. They didn't have time to sit down and just brainstorm a billion ideas and then pick out the good ones. They had a deadline to meet, and they said, we're gonna meet it, but it massively hit it. The game just took a hit. It took a hit graphically. It took a hit in terms of the glitches. It took a hit in probably a lot of the creativity of, I would say, one of the three main stories, maybe two of the three. It took a hit with a lot of the really important battles. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet was a fine game, but in terms of the standards of what Pokemon should be, they have to allow the Pokemon developers more time. You cannot have, X amount of time to give and then expect this incredible masterpiece of a Pokemon game. That's not possible. That's not, I don't care how many people you hire. I don't care how impressive they are at their jobs. If you give them a small time frame, the game is going to reflect that.
Yep. And
that's exactly what Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is. It's an embodiment of what a rushed game looks like. And it's not on, obviously, the team. The team did everything they could. It's just on the time frame that they had to obey.
Yeah.
And so I really hope Wonder shows this is what happens when we let our incredibly talented teams work. And so
makes sense. Yeah. Makes sense.
It's I love that for Mario fans. It is definitely frustrating for Pokemon fans. It feels like every new game Nintendo releases is frustrating for Pokemon fans because we're like, why couldn't we get this? Why? Tears of the Kingdom dropped. So many people were like, the fluff is this. What is this? We got a game that looks like on the GameCube, and y'all got this beautiful masterpiece that obviously y'all delayed a lot because it wasn't ready. Yeah. Now y'all are getting Mario Wonder. It looks beautiful. There are so many unique aspects. How in the world do you revolutionize a 2D game? But they did it because they had time to do it.
Yeah.
And Pokemon, it's like I can fall through the ground at any point in time. And so it's just like look at that, learn from that, do your best to give the team more time, especially when Generation 10 is the next one we're getting.
You see, I think about Pokemon as I kind of picture Xenoblade Chronicles 3. It could be that beautiful.
It could be that beautiful. There are fan-made games that sometimes look more beautiful.
Yeah.
Granted, do they not run as well? No. Is the story not as good? No, probably because they're not as talented in story writing. But like in terms of just graphics, if it looked like a Xenoblade Chronicles 3, I mean, holy cow, that would be game over. Man. That would be so amazing. And that's honestly what I expect the Pokemon Company to hold as the standard for a Generation 10 game. This is the big one. This is it's a decade of generations, not a decade of Pokemon, but a decade of generations.
Yeah.
And especially with the flop of Gen 9, flop not in terms of sales, but with the look, the run, like how it runs. Like look
at Detective Pikachu that just came out. Add it to that. Like that's the thing, is like they did it for a main series, and then they also released
a side
game that everyone was like, okay, well, at least they had time, because from the trailers it looked good. But I noticed very quickly after playing the game and then going backwards, it only showed the cutscenes, not any of the actual gameplay. And that made a difference. Because I think if people saw what it actually looked like, people would have been like, it is 2023. It is 2023. And this game looks like it was made in 2006. Like the models are straight out of Blender. It's crazy. Seriously.
Yeah, and I have a question for you, Liz.
Yes.
You think that that part of the problem with this is that maybe the Pokemon Company, Game Freak, can get too complicit? Is it the word complacent? Complacent, yeah. With the game that is still gonna sell well, even though it's not. Like, I want to steal a phrase from Joycey, a catchphrase from Joycey. Completely cooked.
Yes, completely. It's well done.
It's not well done.
It's well done.
So do you think that is a problem? The fact that it's still going to sell well.
We've kind of had this conversation of like, I think Pokemon is aware that it is a facet of every single person's life. From if you are a Pokemon fan, from the minute you fall asleep to the minute you wake up, there is something Pokemon related you can do. You have Pokemon Sleep, you have Pokemon Go, you have the anime, you have the video games, you have the side games, you have everything. There's Pokemon. What is the one where you brush your teeth? Pokemon Smile?
Pokemon Smile.
Wait, toothbrush?
Yes, it helps you brush your teeth. Yes,
it works.
It's made for. It works. Like,
people never feel better.
Like that's the thing, is like when you have something that is that successful, it's like, again, obviously they're on a time crunch, but honestly at the same time, if you know no matter what you're gonna do is gonna work, they're probably like, hey, we would love for it to be this. But I think had they really, really wanted to, they could have fought for Scarlet and Violet to be delayed.
Yeah.
They could have done whatever. But I think they're also aware of the fact that they would have rather gotten a game out to Pokemon fans, made the money, and have it Pokemon be like, oh, our games are never late. Our games are never whatever. And just run with it. Sure. Again, we talked about the fact that Scarlet and Violet was made in the pandemic. People weren't working from the studio that they normally make it in. That had a really big impact on everything. And I think it's very important that we take that into consideration. However, Detective Pikachu, I listen, I gave Scarlet and Violet a lot of benefit of the doubt. And I understand that the original was made for the 3DS. But they made this game completely from scratch with new models. They did everything else with brand new everything. It's not like they just took the graphics and went, oh, we're going to port them over here and just like do slightly different text. It's a whole new game. And I don't know. It makes me sad, to be honest with you, because you would think with a reputation as big as Pokemon, when it comes to like the amount of people who travel across the entire world just to attend Worlds, the amount of content creators that are backing them, that they do these paid sponsorships with, and just how passionate the entire community is. Like, people will spend $500 on a plushie and it sells out. Like, the level of money that people are willing to invest in a game series that has you fall through the floor and that doesn't run, and that makes it so you lose your DLC even though it's paid for and everything's just gone. Like, it's crazy that we're still having that level of issues with the fan base being probably the biggest and most popular it's ever been. And I don't think that's something that Mario can even come close to saying. Zelda can even come close to saying. So again, I hope that they just kind of were like, hey, let's cut corners and let's take the cool ideas we were going to do in Gen 9 and just throw them into Gen 10.
Yeah.
So Gen 10 is just like crazy. You know what I mean? Now that they're not doing it in a pandemic. But it's just the fact that they didn't fix the issues with the DLC updates. We have a second DLC that's coming out, which would have put it at about a year and a half after the first main thing came out, and they're not fixing a lot of the issues. It would be different if we got the teal mask and they're like, here's a big update. All of this stuff is going to go away. We fixed it. It's better. It runs. It performed, but it's still, you can run to an area on the map. And if you leave that area, there's like a 50% chance that if you go to a different area in the game, you just don't have any Pokemon, period. They just don't spawn.
Disappear.
They're gone. They just won't spawn. And you have to like reset your game in order to get Pokemon to spawn again. Yeah, it's like actually that big of a it's a game-breaking issue that they still haven't fixed.
I wonder if they're messing with me. That's why I can't catch any shiny. It's the game. It's not me.
So that's it.
The game.
It's just the fact that it's been a year. And this is with a DLC update that they could have fixed this stuff with, and they just don't. Okay. So that's what's crazy.
Not to throw shade at Pokemon, and not to kind of throw, and not to say I told, you know, like nah. But I want to have Landon tell me talk about some of the ideas that they have for Mario Wonder, if you have them around, or if you heard of any of the craziest ideas that could have made it into Mario Wonder out of the 200 ideas they had in there. You know, just had them in there.
It made me happy to hear, like I said, it just sounded like they were like a well-knit family. I mean, just anybody come to the table on a sticky note, they said, just write some ideas. We're going to look at them all. They said, there's no, like, you don't have to set a meeting up with me. Like, just come in and tell me your ideas. We're going to talk about them. We're going to implement. Like, they had like a whole board full of ideas and they're just chucking them in the game. Like, yeah, that sounds cool. Let's do it. Yeah, that's crazy and weird. Let's do it. I'm like, that's just insane. And like I said earlier, with like the music and like, they had lots of I think Koji Kondo was on there. He makes lots of the Nintendo, Mario, Donkey Kong music. And he was talking about like, yeah, normally they make the level and then they make the music. And then like, yeah, now they're like lots of the stages in this game are musical inspired. And like, there's even like, they even like said in the interview that there's like a badge for music. And like, so like music was incorporated into the game. And it just shows like every facet of the company was working towards this game together. And like, you know, the developers wanted everybody to know that we're all developers, even the music and everything. So like, we're all going to work on this together. You know, they're all at home at the time, and they were saying like they were just calling each other and just, you know, it just felt, they said it was like one of the most fun projects that they've worked on ever. And like they were working together. I think the two developers, last time they worked together was on like Mario Sunshine. And by the way, which was the inspiration for Elephant Mario's water spray, they said. So
hello.
Yeah, Vandy, I know you like that.
Vandy loves that.
But yeah, I mean, you see it with tons of Nintendo, like big AAA games. I mean, from games like even Kirby and the Forgotten Land packed with details. I mean, to the T, there's so much stuff that's just like developers from HAL Lab just put everywhere. Tears of the Kingdom, it's insane that mechanic of building and designing things has not a single glitch. I have not got a single glitch, a single error, any mess ups at all. And I play like 200, 300 hours building the most ridiculous stuff you could ever build. So it's incredible what actually can be had when you have time to work on something. And like, yeah, I mean, personally, like I said before, and I got teased by my friends like crazy. The only Pokemon game I've ever played was Sword and Shield. And and that was kind of my entry point, and I just started playing it then. And my friends are big Pokemon fans, so like I feel for them, and they're always messaging me like, what's wrong with Pokemon? I'm like, I don't know, you tell me. And so like I understand it's got to be frustrating. I couldn't imagine just roaming the Mushroom Kingdom and falling through the floor or losing DLC that you paid for. That's crazy to me. But yeah, I mean, it's just something. It's the context of the studio, you know, and then just the people that are working, and it just shows like, yeah, when you take time to really, you know, just put out all your ideas, and they'll probably even have more ideas put into these Pokemon games if they just had more time. And just took more advice, like just had everybody come together, had like meetings of the entire staff. Took days, like they said with Mario Wonder, they just took days of just writing ideas down and just like sharing ideas with each other. I think one of the developers said like they wanted a 8-head tall Mario that was realistic and was singing. And like, nope, put it on the list. That's an idea. Like, what?
Yeah, like a live action one. Like a live action one.
Yeah, a live action Mario singing. I was like, so I'm like, look, it comes down to just how much do they want to really. And like you said, Vandy, with Generation 10, I don't even play Pokemon that much, but I expect like I'm coming to the trailer, like I better see something crazy, because for you guys, like I'm here, I'm marching with you guys. We need to see something.
I have to tell you something. When I heard the singing piranhas on the demo,
oh my goodness,
that drove me crazy. Like the singing piranhas was just so beautiful. I didn't want to. I didn't want to make it. You know they're enemies still. If you touch them, you die. But you have singing piranhas. Singing piranhas. The music is beautiful. By the way, it's beautiful. You just want to stay there, but no, you have to move. You have to continue. But it's so, you know. I mean, and this is the thing. I know how Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, actually, let's go back to Breath of the Wild. How Breath of the Wild was such an influential game, right? To other games, and inspired so many other open world concept games out there, you know, that are just one of the best games now. I'm just hoping that all these stories that we hear from developers and how great the experience was and how much time they had and how Nintendo basically just told them, hey, take your time. I'm hoping that this part of the experience is also influential to the rest of the of the crowd, right? Of the Game Freak to the Pokemon Company, because I don't know if it's whether I really can't blame too much the developers. They don't have enough time for Pokemon Company. I think it's because they have to release a game per season and per schedule on TV or something like that, right? Is it like it's scheduled that way? So they're on a tight deadline there. Am I right? Or is it?
It's, I mean, the deadline definitely depends, but the big thing about Scarlet and Violet is they had to line up cards, plushes, and the big one's the anime. And I don't think you can really release an anime once you give a release date for when it's supposed to air in Japan. And so for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and the anime, they just have to line up so many different things. Where it's like, you know, it's not like they have to line up a Mario show with a Mario trading card game with but Mario is Mario. You're gonna get the game, and you got a movie a little bit, but you know, Mario Wonder and the Mario movie, they don't have anything to do with each other necessarily. Yeah. But for Pokemon, I think that they just have a vision of when they want all these different things to come together at a certain point. And if you delay one, you delay them all. And I feel like maybe the Pokemon Company is just not worth that. But I think for someone who loves the game so much, it is worth that. Like, please, or just have the anime release first, or just have the game come later. Like, they have to do something. And like, I don't like crapping on Pokemon all the time. Like, and I feel like that's what we've done a lot on this podcast. Like, I will praise the person who put that Unite patch in the game, because that is something that they needed to do, and that's something that they did. Should they have done it sooner? Sure. That's neither here nor there. But like, I will be the first to back the Pokemon company and the Pokemon games when they give us something to support. And like, there are certain aspects of Scarlet and Violet that I will always praise. They had 3 different storylines, and one of them was really, really good. One of them was pretty good. One of them could have used some work, but the DLC storyline was pretty cool. A lot of the really cool new Pokemon designs, like, I think they did really well with that. I think the Pokedex is really good. I think Gen 9's Pokedex is better than Generation 8's. But in terms of the game as a whole, I'm not going to praise it if it's not worthy of that. And I don't, even someone who's not a Pokemon fan like Landon, he knows that's not Nintendo standards of a game. That's not it. Falling through the floor, being stuck on your riding Pokemon just nose deep in the ground, and you're just stuck there. That's another glitch. Your Pokemon just disappearing. If you leave an area, a specific area, just gone. Absolutely all gone. Like, they're like lighting effects, different things like that. Like, that is not in any other Nintendo game. Like, there might be glitches you can exploit in like Mario 64. First off, that was made 30 years ago. Okay. Like old OG games. Yeah, you have glitches like that, but these are like coding errors. This isn't like you find a really cool hop skip to get the star faster. These are coding errors in 2023 for a massive company. Like that's the difference between glitches and the glitches in Scarlet and Violet.
The other thing too is other companies would have fixed it. Like, if that would have happened in Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, the speed in which that would have been patched and repaired, and the apology that would have been public and everything would have happened so fast. And the difference is Pokemon was like, yeah, our bad. And they had 8 months, I think it was, before DLC dropped, fixed at least the issue of your character's head turning you into a stretchy man and spinning around in 360 motions. So you're no longer turned into the Freddy the Tube Man. But all of the game breaking stuff, they just didn't fix and just released an entire DLC and are like, hey, our bad.
They don't have a state of emergency.
Right. So it's just like any other company or like within Nintendo would have fixed it by now. And they just didn't.
But Pokemon is owned by 3 companies, right? It's Creatures. It's Pokemon. Wait, what are the 3 companies that kind of own Pokemon?
Game Freak,
Creatures, and Nintendo. Right. So Nintendo has basically a third of a say, or when it comes to quality assurance.
I mean, that could be true, but I don't. If I was ahead of any of those companies, I wouldn't be happy with the quality of this game. I don't think 2/3 of, I don't think Creatures and Game Freak were like, this is good. Push it. Or Nintendo and Game Freak are like, no, good enough. Let's get it out there. Like, I just I don't think that is the mindset of these types of companies. I have a very hard time believing like the quality of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I don't see a world in which they're happy with it.
Yeah. But like I said, I hope that these stories coming out from developers and I hope that this game Mario Wonder and that story just becomes an influence on the rest of the community, and we get better games. We all have high hopes for Gen 10, and keep our fingers crossed. Let's see what happens with that. Segue. Anybody else? Any last words on Mario Wonder, or developers, or Josie?
Other than the fact that I'm extremely excited about it. Paul, are you talking to us? Because I see your lips moving, but I wasn't hearing anything.
Talk to us, Paul. Don't drive.
Paul? He might be having a bad connection.
I think he's probably having a bad connection.
Okay, I'm sorry, Mike. Please segue.
No worries.
Sorry.
Paul, don't drive driving. But
he'll be back.
But segue. Mario Wonder, awesome. Friday, don't forget Friday, guys. It's happening. I have a first impressions review on the channel. It's my first ever scripted video, but I wanted to put I wanted to put what I wanted to say in pen and paper, on the computer, and then read off of it. Just make sure that I don't miss anything, leave anything out. So I did that, and that's my first kind of scripted video on the channel. Hopefully I'll do more later on, because when I do scripted, for some reason, because I'm a writer, I get poetic and it gets cheesy sometimes. But yeah, it's on the channel now. Moving
Back
along,
on?
we have. Hello?
Yeah, you're back.
You good? Yeah, we can hear you now. We can hear you. Did you want to say anything else before anything else on Mario Wonder or on the developers before we move on to next subject?
My connection's pretty bad.
That's not Pokemon's
Can
fault.
anybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Do I sound clear?
Yep. You sound
Yes.
perfectly. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Crystal clear.
Can you give me a thumbs up if I sound okay? Okay. So I'll wrap this up because my internet signal must not be going back and forth the best. So as long as you can hear me and I'm not super garbled, I can't. Or so.
The irony.
Yeah, irony.
Come back to us, Paul.
Those circles make good points. Those little loading points are making good points.
Also, Mike, you're frozen.
I'm frozen?
You are
Yeah.
definitely frozen.
Like the movie?
Unless you've just been unless you're just posing and trying to confuse us.
No, there's no way he's that.
Oh,
still.
wait.
way too
Did I thumbs up?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
did the
thumbs
thing
up.
again.
Ah, man.
You did the thing again.
I'll come back to normal as long as you can hear me. I'll come back to normal soon. It's probably like the little balloon coming up or something, or fireworks or whatever popping up. Paul, you good? Yes? No? Maybe so?
Paul?
Paul?
Talk to me, Paul.
We lost Paul.
Paul, talk to us, Paul.
I need more Paul in my life. This is one of my favorite cousins.
All right, so when we get Paul, we can go back. We can go back always to hear more about Paul. But let's go ahead and segue to the next news that we have for today, and it has to do with the Switch patent that came out related to the Nintendo. Well, actually, no, that wasn't. It was Switch 2 related, but it had to do with Nintendo removing a trailer from their website, and this is the trailer for the reveal of the Nintendo Switch, the very first Nintendo Switch, the OG model. They released a trailer revealing that Switch. The one where you see the guy sitting on a couch, and then you see the people playing on that OG model Switch trailer. Nintendo took it down, and so a lot of people out there are just going bonkers, and basically stating that, oh no, does this mean Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be announced any moment now, anytime soon? I'm like, look, the answer is pretty simple. Look around you. What's going on around you right now? We are at the hype of Mario Wonder, right? It's doing super well, and then after that, next month we have what? Super Mario RPG. That's another one that's coming in, right? And then we also have Hogwarts Legacy, which is another big game, huge, massive game that's coming next month, right? It's like there's only 2 more months left in the year, 2 months, and major games are coming. Nintendo has all of these bundles, amazing bundles out there with they have 2 editions of the Switch Lite with one with the Timmy and Tommy, right? And it includes the game for free, okay? And then they have another bundle where you can choose your own Mario game as well. And then they also have another bundle with Mario Kart, the traditional Mario Kart one from every year, right? So there's a lot of things going on, a lot of sales going on. Nintendo is set for the holiday season. I think they're set for the year. Next year is going to be a big year for Nintendo fans. It's going to be a massive year. I think we're going to hear from every single franchise. We're going to hear something big from them regarding the next-gen system. I know Pokemon is a big Switch seller, and if Gen 10 comes with Pokemon and it looks incredible with all the ray tracing and all of a sudden the Pokemon game that everybody's ever wanted, raise your hand if you're going to buy a Switch 2 because of that game.
Not because of that game, just because I'm going to buy one.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I'll take it.
So that's my own personal opinion. Nintendo is done for the year. I know there's a lot of content creators, and I respect everybody's opinion. But we have to keep our feet on the ground. Feet on the ground. It's better to be surprised than to be let down. So keep your feet on the ground. You see how that rhymes? Bring it into a t-shirt.
Bars.
Right. So
Totally.
yeah, this is what I found out after some research. Okay, that song there's a song that plays in that trailer. Okay, that song had a license that expired. Okay, Nintendo licensed that song just like they did with the Super Nintendo World trailer, where they had this music video they had on their channel with it showed Mario jumping out and people following, and then they're all like hitting the question block, and it was a big thing. It was like a big music video. Everybody loved it. Nintendo took it down. Why? Because that license for that song expired, and so they didn't want to renew it because it was old. That's the OG Switch. That trailer was for the OG Switch 6 years ago. When after that, we've already got Switch Lite. Actually, Switch version 2, right? We got Switch Lite, Switch OLED, and a whole bunch of editions of Switch OLED, right? And so Nintendo doesn't really need that trailer anymore to promote the Switch. It benefits more if they take it down because it brings up all the other trailers. You know, when you Switch 2 or Nintendo Switch on YouTube, that trailer was always going to come up. But now all the other trailers are going to come up, and that benefits them for the holiday season because all the other newer trailers pop up better. It doesn't mean that Switch 2 is coming up. It means that they're strategically doing it so that they can pop up all the other Switch editions, you know, better in search ranks so they can, and apart from the licensing thing, you know. So that's what I believe in it. Anybody else have any thoughts on the reason why Nintendo took down the trailer?
As much fun. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, as much fun as it is to speculate, I honestly think it's just a licensing thing.
Yeah.
I don't think Nintendo's sitting there like, how do we trick the fans? They always want to have good business. I mean, I think they discuss good business strategy, of course, but I don't think they're doing it so we can sit here and just speculate about that. They don't mind us speculating over their games and what the story means because of things that came out about Tears of the Kingdom recently that I was just like, what the heck are they doing with the story?
Yeah.
But I really think it's a licensing thing. It could be so the other Switches, you know, and Switch reveals like for the special edition ones are coming up. But I truly just don't see them doing anything with Switch 2 until probably actually really January or February.
Yeah.
If at the earliest. So that's just my thought.
Yeah, I agree. Anybody else?
Yeah, I just pretty much the same thing. I was just going to say it definitely is probably just a licensing thing. But at the same time, I mean, there's always that chance, you know, because, you know, this is a practice that other businesses do. Apple does it with all their, you know, previous generation iPhone trailers before the new one releases. And we've seen it before with Nintendo, but normally it was to reveal like another type of their current hardware.
Yeah.
But even with that in mind, I mean, I think it's just obvious that, I mean, this is the window we're in for that reveal trailer to happen very soon. I mean, I've been saying soon as Mario Wonder comes out, I think it's game time because especially with all the rumors saying that it's going to launch with the brand new 3D Mario, they get, you know, Mario Wonder out, let it marinate for a little bit, you know, and then that's when you start to get ready to reveal. And early next year just makes so much sense. I think we've seen the last Nintendo Direct for the Switch specifically. Are they going to straight up in the spring of next year just drop the trailer? I don't know. I think they could just, you know, have another Nintendo Direct, show, you know, some of those smaller games still coming to the Switch, and then show a trailer for that Mario game and not tell us what console it's for. Just say like, show the trailer for the 3D Mario. But I think we're in that time slot. As soon as Mario Wonder drops, I mean, it doesn't matter. Whether or not this is a sign or not, it's coming.
Yeah. And piggybacking on what you were saying, I remember interview with Furukawa where he said, and people, it was like the most like the trick answer ever. He did it in such a way that it tricked everybody. Okay. until you saw the interview again. He says, "Oh yeah, we're going to continue to support the Switch until the fiscal year ending in 2025." What fiscal year ends in 2025? Well, right now we are in the fiscal year of 2023, which ends in March of 2024. So the fiscal year that ends in 2025 starts this coming March. And so what he's saying is that, yeah, we're going to be supporting the Switch with software until the fiscal year ending in 2025. And what fits into that year? They already announced Mario, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD that's coming in the summer of 2024, around that area. They also have Paper Mario Thousand Year Door that is also coming after March in 2024. So basically what he told us about the support for the Switch is what has been said out there. Is his phrasing. They got a lot of people saying, wait, does that mean that we're not going to get Switch 2 until 2025, 2026? I mean, that's never going to happen. I think Switch, just like Joshi said, just like Landon said, 2024, I could see a reveal trailer coming in the first 3 months. A reveal trailer, right? And then hopefully we'll get more information in the year. But when it comes to the trailer being taken down, I don't see it as a big sign there's a Nintendo Switch 2 coming on the way. Everybody put your seatbelt on because it's about to go down. We are already inside the holiday season. Christmas trees are up right now. There's something in my local shop. I see the entire area. I'm like, yeah, they keep putting trees up earlier and earlier and earlier. I even have a neighbor who started decorating their house and it's still October, so there's this thing about Switch 2 we're all excited about, but let's keep our expectations in check. That way we don't fall into another Switch Pro debacle like back in the day where everybody was just so hyped on Switch Pro. And even myself, I let myself go with Switch Pro because I was so excited about it. Then we got the Switch OLED, and we're like, that was it. That's the whole thing, right? And that's a little segue there for the last story in regards to there was a Switch patent, apparently a Switch 2 patent that was released, discovered by Game Rant. I think it's Game Rant, right? Is it Game Rant? It was discovered by Game Rant, and it had a little picture of what people thought was a Switch, what apparently is a Switch 2. And so a lot of the people out there, basically this story is trending just because people are all upset thinking that design of a patent is the Switch 2. Has anybody else seen it in the crew?
Nope.
I saw it, but I don't always understand it because you always put up those patent videos, and I'm like, just where's the on and off button? I don't understand what's happening here.
So I'll go ahead and look at it for you guys, so you guys can take a look at it real quick. And just the image. Let's see here.
Also,
because
Mike, your camera is still frozen. Just so you're
still
aware.
frozen?
Yeah.
Wonder if I feel cold. I feel so cold.
He's scared and all alone.
Yeah. No one here beside me, but you gotta have friends. Isn't that like a Shrek thing?
I don't even remember Shrek.
Yeah,
I love
that's
Shrek.
Donkey. It's Donkey.
I love Shrek. Donkey's awesome.
I know I enjoyed the movies. I just don't remember them.
We're gonna have a Shrek 4 pretty soon. Hey guys, that's news. That's better than Nintendo Switch 2. News.
True.
Shrek 5. A Shrek reboot.
Are we actually getting a new
opinion.
Shrek?
The what?
Are we actually getting a new Shrek?
I mean, they
Oh,
teased
yeah.
it at the end of Puss in Boots that they were
Yeah,
going
yeah,
back
yeah.
to.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Sorry, that was a big spoiler.
That movie's been out for so long. You're good.
But the movie's fantastic, though. The Puss in Boots, I love it so much.
Yep.
That was so much better than I thought.
Right?
Like, wow.
They went back to the old formula of good movies. Boots and Boots.
That was really, really, really good. It was beautiful too. The animation was awesome.
Yeah, it was. It was. That ending though, that your future wife just gave away. Man.
No pressure.
No pressure.
But I do want to invite.
What was that? What was that? What?
I do want to invite, but anyway.
I said that ending that your future wife just gave away.
And all I'm saying is I just want an invite.
And so we all better do an invite. Hey guys, we're here at the Nintopics Podcast.
Okay. We're joking. No pressure. Lots of pressure. Yeah. Anyway.
What we mean no pressure? Pressure.
Yeah.
No pressure.
He's like, well, now that you bring it up.
Some of you want to tell us?
Wait, who? What? With
okay.
Me? Not yet.
No. Okay.
Okay. All right. So
bombastic side eye.
I got it here. I got the patent. The patent.
Forgive me for nibbling, guys, but the French fries are talking to me.
Nibble. Listen, nibble like you've never nibbled before. All right, I got here. Sharing my screen.
But you're frozen, so I don't know if we can see your screen.
Yeah, we can't see your screen.
You can probably still see my screen.
No, we can't even see you, Mike.
You can't see me? I'm not. John
You're
Cena,
frozen.
I'm like John Cena. You can't see me.
You're frozen in a really good spot. Like it's a really good shot of you.
Like
really?
I will say that.
I'm gonna go ahead and then use it as my profile picture. Then.
You can just never do a thumbs up on camera ever.
Right,
again.
never.
Ever in life.
Oh, the screen.
Oh, there we go.
Wow.
That's an iPhone.
That's an iPhone. Right? That's an iPad.
That's a Puripad.
Hey, look, I searched for Switch 2 and my video came out right there.
Let's go.
That's a fun. That's a fun. Let me go back to this because I'm making my screen super huge, so I don't know where I am right now. Lost. But there it is, guys. This is the patent right here. Where am I? You really lost here. That's the image right here of the patent right there. This is the image. Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It looks like an iPhone sideways, right? Like a sideways iPhone. And so it has basically it has the buttons on there, and it has this little round thing here, which is supposed to be the joystick or the Neo joystick, and then the upper buttons on top, and if I click on this, I can actually get the other images.
That
fearless
is
leader.
Horrible. As to what just happened.
All
right. Well, one thing I will talk about then for the patent that we saw. Does that mean no Joy-Cons?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Because if the joystick is on the left side and the buttons on the right side, it doesn't look like you can detach anything from them. It looks like one giant unit.
Mm-hmm.
So are there no? I mean, look, I'm kind of pro no Joy-Con, but it would be very weird for them not to do that because I feel like that was like a really big like seller for them, and I don't know why they would take that away, especially if they can if they're like cross compatible. I feel like that's just a waste of money for them.
I mean, sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead. Go ahead. Honey.
Okay. I think personally, if they're trying to make it run better, harder, faster, stronger, I think it would make more sense for it to be docked versus undocked and just sell basically pro controllers for everything. If you're wanting to have it docked, because probably run better, they'd break less. They can do a little bit more variants, have more games, have controllers. Wow, that was scary.
I didn't do that. I didn't do that either.
What is happening?
Mike, it's gotta be Mike.
It's gotta be Mike.
I feel like that makes sense. Dare I say? So I think it's definitely going to be more of a docked versus undocked situation. So you have your handheld that'll have a lot better quality, probably similar to an OLED, and then you have the ghosts that are possessing this stream.
Wait, I'm booped. Did I boop back in?
Well,
I
you're
mean,
there, but it's a black.
Oh, now you're gone.
So that
This
was
is
my
the
thought
best
on the matter.
podcast ever.
All right, well, I'll pose a question then. While my favorite.
Wait, I was going to say something real quick.
All right, go.
When it comes to the new Switch, from what that patent was showing, I don't know if that's including the Joy-Cons or not. I don't know if that's just the whole device. And the reason I say that is because, to be fair, even though I am not a fan of the Joy-Cons, to be fair, the Joy-Cons are technically, I mean, you get the whole system and a controller in one box. That's kind of Nintendo's thing. And then they charge you extra when you want the real controller, which is the Pro controller. So I'm wondering if that's the whole thing. Mind you, I don't understand patents. I just look for the on and off button and I just plug things in. So, go, Vandy.
Right.
Go, Mike.
I don't know. What's wrong with my? Why am I so skinny? What's happening here?
I
You
mean,
lost
I like
weight?
this layout, to be honest. As long as you're here and we can continue. We were just talking about the fact that the patent that you put on
Lynn, high five.
screen, it looks like there are no Joy-Cons available, just because it looks like there's nothing detachable on the actual system itself.
Yeah, there's one Joy-Con with it. It doesn't have two of them. It has one controller, apparently.
But like a Joy-Con?
Yeah, it's a system that only has one controller.
I think that would lean more towards my argument then, because
Yeah.
I don't see a realm where you only get a singular Joy-Con.
Yeah, so
Especially
Unless you
considering
suddenly only need
PlayStation
one.
and Xbox also come with one controller. So if we're getting a beefier system, I think that just makes more sense.
But
That's the way to go.
so to clarify what the patent was, because people started, the thing is that I blame Game Rat. Game Rat, if you listen to me, bad reporting, because they only shared the image. That's it. No context whatsoever, just the images. And then they made their own story. And on top of that, they didn't add a source to their story. There's no source on their news, so you can click back and see where it comes from. So a lot of people were just going based on Game Rat and sourcing them. And those of us who wanted to find the patent, we literally dig through hoops, jump through hoops to find that patent until we actually did find the patent. It was a Japanese patent website. We read the patent, translated it, read it, and the patent has to do with button placement. It's not the actual basically that picture is a dummy. And the patent is only talking about how some buttons have been moved to make room for the bigger screen. And on top of the I think you insert the game now through the bottom instead of through the top. And then the headphones also through the bottom. Like they moved a lot of things around. Power button on top. And so that's what the patent talks about. Potential placement for the buttons and for things so that it could actually kind of fit well, and the patent also refers to one system, like if it's just no removable Joy-Cons, no removable sticks. So I'm guessing there will be two versions of it. The main base model that has removable Joy-Cons, and maybe a light version of the Switch Pro 2 that has no removable Joy-Cons. So this could be related to that, because as you read the patent, it also mentions that it's part of a set. Like, so it's more like the light version, and it makes sense that Nintendo releases two of them. I know there's a rumor out there that there's a all digital one, and there's one with an SD card with the slot for the game cartridge. And so I see the light one as a digital one. If they were to release a light version without as an all digital, and then the other one as the base model. So anybody else thoughts on it?
I want to come up with a bad scenario.
Go ahead.
Could
What?
you imagine
Uh-huh.
if Nintendo's way to incentivize you to buying the more powerful model, the one that has more RAM, that maybe is like the pro version of everything up front. It's digital only, but that's the better one. Like they want a digital feature, so they're like, you want the one that has more RAM, the one that has more teraflops, the one that has backwards compatibility with the digital front.
Yeah.
We're even gonna charge less for the system, and it's gonna be the digital.
No.
Don't breathe that into existence.
In every person's interpretation of this, there's different pros and cons. And I'm like, no one thought of that. And I hope it doesn't happen, but it just made me kind of laugh like, dang, that would be pretty bad if that was it. Not that I want it to be, but what I do hope it is, if there is indeed a physical and a digital, let both be backwards compatible with their respective, mediums that are accessible on it. Like, don't nerf, which I always thought it was weird because I like nerf, and instead it makes like things lesser. But I guess it's less painful because you get hit by a nerf football instead of normal football. Anyways, don't lower the quality so much that like, okay, this system is not backwards compatible at all with the digital library. If it's a digital only system, let you have access to the eShop stuff that you purchased for the last 7 years. And if you buy the physical one, okay, it's backwards compatible with the physical and the digital. I don't think there should be one that's just a non-backwards compatible system. Like that just seemed like a good idea, because then that's going to cause a lot of consumer confusion. You're going to go into the GameStop, Best Buy. Best Buy physical for games for the foreseeable future, but not for movies. But you're going to go in there and be like, oh, will this work on my old one? No, it's only a new one. And that thought process is the only thing that made me think of that kind of funny in a bad way. Well, what if they wanted to differentiate it so much that like, nope, this digital one is all future proof. It's all height. It's the higher quality, storage and RAM. I hope that's not the case, but I think Nintendo's smart. Nintendo also does care about their user base, and you could also say though, but they've made mistakes in the past with certain things, whether it was branding a certain item, calling a system a certain name, or marketing it a different way, or not showing off the physical console at a whole E3 in the press conference, just the controller, which was Wii U, like the gamepad was highlighted. And so they're not infallible, but they're far better than not. So I don't think they would make this big of a mistake. Also, I'm going to go quickly. I'm sorry for the in and out earlier.
No, you're good.
My phone was in a bad spot and I could hear you garbled. I don't know if you could hear me, but I reached out to find out any information that I could on the whole, what happened to the Nintendo Switch original video, and why was it taken off? And the basic answer is that there is something behind the scenes from, I think White Denim is the name of the company, that the musical group, and there is a licensing rights distribution thing that could potentially be solved. And at some time, the video wasn't delisted, it was just privatized. So it could go back at some point. But in asking that information, I did find out one little small piece of nugget, and that is that things are going well, though, for what it's worth. Something small, not much. But that's the same thing that I heard at Nintendo Live, is that things are strong. And I'm talking to a couple of people that I've known for a long time, like pre-Wii U era, going back to, early to mid 2000s. And the general vibe that I am feeling from folks that I know, not that I'm being, shared too much information, but enough that there's more confidence, it seems, in the air for this next hardware than Wii U.
Okay.
And on the third party side, there is definitely, because this I have also a direct, third party source, which I haven't been on a podcast in like this capacity in a while, so I wasn't even able to share that. But a third party developer, I won't mention who in this case, but did specifically say that the overall excitement and feeling behind the development kits of new hardware that they have access to is much more optimistic than it was when they received Nintendo Switch for the first time.
Okay, give us a letter. What does it start with? What does the developer start with? What letter does it start with?
I don't know. I can't read.
The last letter. The last letter.
No,
PR train.
I can't spell either. But it was enough of a tell that, like, okay, Nintendo Switch now, nobody would say no to it. Well, maybe some, because ironically, like, you still don't have Madden, and you still don't have, like, so there are still that say no, but like nobody would deny, dang, if I only knew, I would have put my game on Nintendo Switch from the beginning, not 6 months later, not later, but like that was a thing at E3s that I was going to, like, how come this isn't on Switch? For a little bit it was, we didn't think it was going to be a hit. We didn't think it was going to be a success, and now we're playing catch up. Some were more optimistic early on, but a lot kind of didn't, and that's why you saw later ports. Then there's also another story. Some later ports came out because it was a way for making the audience double dip. Buy it on Xbox One, PS4, buy it again on 7 months later. Whereas if you release all at once, if it was comparable parity, more would probably buy the Nintendo Switch version, and you wouldn't have double dipping later on. But anyways, this one same developer with the access and how the company is taking on new hardware development this is good. It's exciting to work on it, and there's faith in it early on. So that gets me kind of pumped up, because if Nintendo themselves, like I said, a couple people saying things are going well, things are strong, that's good enough for me to trust these people, because not that they downed their own product with Wii U, but it's a different sense of security. There's a different level of confidence, and this has got it. So between that and just one third party in particular, I'm excited.
What
It's
does it
very
start with?
easy
What letter
to
does
be
it start with?
overly optimistic, but I don't think I'm being too optimistic. I think, like, I would love for Nintendo to drop that trailer and take the world by storm, because that's what Nintendo Switch did. I would love it if they did that again. I don't know if it'll be that climactic, but I think it's looking good enough that it's going to be closer to awesome by a long shot than just okay.
I think it will, because if they introduce a trailer, but then they present the games like Elden Ring in that trailer, playing on the next gen system or whatever, a game that is next gen for sure, and they show it in that trailer for the Switch too. I'm on the I'm controversial. I'm on that train where I don't think it's gonna be called Switch at all. I think they're gonna come up with a brand new name. Brand new name, Nintendo something. I think they have a really good creative team that is on top of it. I think they've got milked the Switch name as much as they can, and I know that when the Wii was out, nobody would have thought that naming a console Wii U was going to be confusing, and because of how successful the Wii was, us as content creators would have said, "Oh yeah, I think it'll be good." If knowing that it was a next gen console, they call it the Wii U, okay, because the Wii is a big brand now. It's been good, and then being in that position now, knowing what happened then, I think Nintendo's better off naming it something different, even if they keep the same form factor and moving forward. I think it's something fresh new name, to hit the streets and hit the floor running.
We'll see. They could call it Swoosh.
The swoosh, like the Nike swoosh.
We didn't quite get it right the first time with Wii U, but we have confidence in the letter U, so it's going to be
Nintendo Remix. How about Nintendo Remix?
TCH, the Nintendo.
If they call it the Swoosh, I'm not buying it.
But
you imagine?
It's called the Swoosh, but Pokemon is everything you ever wanted.
Is it going to be on the swoosh?
You drive a hard bargain, Mr. Paul.
Anybody want to still call it
realistic scenarios too?
Let me ask AI.
Wait, real quick.
Yeah,
anybody just want to call it the NX?
Oh man,
I thought that I really liked that code name for Switch, and I was like, yeah. So I say call it Switch NX.
I don't have it on hand, but you know what I did? It's an old video.
Let me guess. You have like
You see this paper? You see this paper? This is how I did it. Hold on. How did I do it? Oh yeah. So I had NX, but I was convinced that the X is going to turn into the Infinite logo, and that it was going to be called the Nintendo Infinite. So I came up with this thing. You could look it up on YouTube if you're curious, but it was like NX. I was convinced, you know what, they're going to use NX, and looking at color schemes and how they did it with GameCube and N64 and different logos, and I was like, NX, where the X becomes infinite, and it becomes infinite future-proof modular controllers that you could take the faceplate out and put in like a GameCube configuration, take that faceplate off and put in an N64 combination, take off the D-pad and put in a thumbstick, and you could have different kind of setup like that. It's an old video from like 7 years ago where we're all speculating, but like Joycey says, I like NX, and I think NX or Infinite, and then you could just kind of infinitely mark it on from there, like Nintendo, then, now, forever, Infinite.
Yeah.
What if they call it the Infinite Switch? Infinite Switch, and they call it Infinite for short, but it's still a Switch. So it's something we recognize, good branding.
My idea. I'm just kidding.
Paul, we know you run the whole place. We know.
True.
Nobody's telling anybody that.
Listen, I just asked ChatGPT to give me 20,
not ChatGPT.
20 potential names for the next gen system. Okay, very interesting names, by the way, and I think some of them could. Who knows, right? Let's start out with the first one: Nintendo Dream, Nintendo Spark, Nintendo Quest, Nintendo Edge, Nintendo Wave, Nintendo Prism, Nintendo Force, Nintendo Zone, Nintendo Blaze, Nintendo Vision. I can see that one.
Wait, Nintendo Blaze. Wait a minute.
Nintendo Blaze, Nintendo Vision. Oh,
wrong channel to make that joke.
Why? Why?
I said Nintendo Blaze.
Nintendo Blaze. Is that a channel?
Stay innocent, Mike. Never mind.
right. Nintendo Vision, Nintendo Nexus, Nintendo Star. This one, Nintendo Link. Okay, come on. Nintendo Core, Nintendo Pulse, Nintendo Joy, Nintendo. I see the Nintendo Joy. I like the Joy one.
I like
Nintendo Pixel and the Nintendo Evo.
I like the Pulse.
ChatGPT getting lazy.
It sounded like they just took all the big buzzwords and just put it together.
Yeah.
Like Dreamcast, Nintendo Dream. There was like a few others. I was like, you just take like a big word from an old console. Like Nintendo, Sega, Nintendo Atari, Nintendo Box. It's like just ChatGPT, come on. What are you doing?
Nintendo Joy. I like Nintendo Joy.
Wait. I got the perfect one.
What?
The Switch Entertainment System.
The SES?
Yes.
It's a SES, not a SNES.
Is it coming out?
No, wait. Switch Entertainment System. Yeah.
Yeah, it's SES.
Yeah. Switch. Yeah, Switch ES or whatever.
The SES.
It's the SES. Oh, wait. No. We
can't do that
SAS. The Nintendo Sassy. It was named after me.
All right, I'm going to let Landon give us any last remarks on the week of Mario. Tell us what do you think is happening next?
Are you baking a cake?
How much do you think Mario Wonder is going to sell opening weekend? And I'll let everybody give their shot at it.
I don't know if I can give you a number. I'm not really big on numbers, so I don't really know. I mean.
I'll do a baseline. 10 million.
Give me a baseline.
10 million. I'll say 10 million. Opening weekend.
Opening weekend?
Tears of the Kingdom did 10 million, right?
Did it opening weekend?
Yeah,
it's
opening
gonna
weekend.
be lower than that.
Gosh.
No offense. I feel like it's gonna be lower than that then.
It's gotta be lower. I'm saying lower.
You know what? I'm gonna say 15 million.
You went higher.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I'm 15 million, 20 million. I'm playing it and I'm going to love it. I know everyone's going to love it because it's holiday season. It's a 2D Mario game. It's going to sell like crazy. You know what, Mike? I'm going to say 20 million.
Remember, we're talking about 3 days here, man.
Everybody can't get to the mall, but that's okay.
But I mean, it's going to sell like crazy. I mean, New Super Mario Brothers Deluxe sold like crazy. So I mean,
Right.
like, what does that tell you? But I mean, new Mario, new 2D Mario. I'm ready. I'm tired of talking about this thing because I'm ready to just play it.
Yeah.
Tired of speculating. Tired of. I'm ready to dive in, Mike, all the way. So,
man, you ate good. You ate good. You ate good with Mario Wonder.
Eating. We got Mario. I mean, Mario's still coming around the corner. You got RPG. You got Wario game. You got Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door that I cried about. I mean,
that's crazy, man.
That's
Daisy?
beautiful.
Yeah, Peach.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Luigi's Mansion 2.
I'm so hyped for the Princess Peach game, and I'm like, for everyone who's ever asked me if Zelda should be for Legend of Zelda, if Zelda should be a playable character, and she doesn't, blah 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 blah. This is what I'm talking about. Give her own thing. That's exactly. And I'm so hyped. I'm looking forward to that too. But for me, it's about to be the season of Mario. Once family leaves from out of town, I have to play Mario Wonder. And then I've never played Mario RPG, never played Thousand Year Door.
Yeah.
So I'm extremely hyped. Yeah. It's like, and I still haven't played Sparks of Hope.
So what do you think?
Okay, I know that's Mario Rabbids, but still.
Opening weekend, Jesse.
Opening weekend, I think I think it's very possible we're 7 million.
Okay, 7 million. Good number.
Mm-hmm.
Good number.
Mm-hmm. But it's going to grow from there because it's the thing that's kind of a little bit tough about Mario is it's a different kind of hype.
Yeah,
we're all just as excited as Landon. But the thing about Mario is and Landon, please do not take this the wrong way. Nobody take this the wrong way. But it's Mario, and it's just joy in a video game. There's not a lot of lore per se, and a lot of things to really, really talk about. It's not the same as like a Xenoblade or a Zelda, where we could literally trace the same rock that was on this that was on Lon Lon Ranch back to Ocarina of Time. It's not the same thing. So I think it's a different kind of hype. It's like we're just excited to play it, but there's nothing else to really talk about. So I think it's safe to, on any level, to go on the high side for opening weekend sales.
But this game is the first game to ever expand the Mario universe and give a little more story. Like, we've always heard about the Mushroom Kingdom. Now we're hearing about the Flower Kingdom, and this is not a spoiler. If you play Mario Wonder demo, there's an intro to the game, and there's a little more story related to that. So it's pretty cool, to see Mario expanding there. It's not. I wouldn't go as far as calling it lore, but at least a little more story to it, storyline, and then just like you said, a lot of fun and joy and games and stuff.
It's just like, Zelda you could talk about for hours. Mario, it's like, let's discuss games.
Let's just play. Yeah.
Because I know I'm probably going to be DMing Landon. It's like, okay, I'm at the 8th world and I can't get past this thing because I suddenly can't jump this whatever. Because that's when Mario the platform.
Yeah,
really
you're gonna need a badge. There's some levels you're gonna need a badge. These badges, the badges have extra abilities, which is crazy. I think this is the game with the most abilities that Mario has ever had, with all these badges put together. The balloon, the hat, everywhere. I mean,
it's giving Super Mario World vibes.
Even the cape, right? The cape. There's one for the cape. He has a little cape, like in Super Mario World. So let's go over to Paul. Paul, opening weekend.
10 million.
10 million. Okay, awesome.
It's gonna sell to 7.5% of the audience.
Okay.
Nintendo Switch's user base, install base is so big at this point, with 132 million people. Unconfirmed, but when the results come in 4 weeks from now, we'll see that it's around 132 million. That's a 7.5% of the audience, I think, is going to be there for opening weekend. That's going to put it right neck and neck with Tears of the Kingdom and that pair of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I think that it's Pokemon Go effect going to happen all over again, because it's been a while since you've had a Mario game, so there's the curiosity in that factor. It's a 2D game, which typically sells better than 3D Mario. You're coming off of Super Nintendo World theme park, so Mario is at an all-time high. You're coming off of the Super Mario Brothers movie, which is a near 1.4 billion selling movie, highest animated film of the year. You've got the review side of things, that anytime a game does well in reviews, that's going to help the opening weekend sales in general. And the fact that it's a Mario game and just Mario on his own sells well. And then you've got the curiosity factor of, for better or worse, new voice actor, Charles Martinet is fantastic and he's not in here. So there will be some small percentage of people that buy it for that comparison's sake,
Yeah.
So you've got all these little nuggets, and sometimes everyone is just in here. Like, I'm just going to buy it regardless because it's Mario. But not everybody operates that way. I only buy the 2D. I don't buy the 2D, but I cannot help but this because of FOMO, because it sounds so good. Oh, I'm a lapsed Mario gamer, but the movie brought me in. I actually never played that stuff, but my kids and family loved the theme park, so that brought me in. Oh, now's a good time to get in because there's a red Nintendo Switch, so that makes it unique and fresh and new. So with a semi-new hardware, that's a good starting point for me to join this journey. I just miss Mario because it's been a while since I've had a new entry. So lots of these different people that don't always fit into this one bubble are going to buy it, and word of mouth and the fact that it's multiplayer and online, it's a perfect recipe that, like, long run, it'll be like a 40 million selling game.
Yeah.
In the long run. But I think opening weekend is 10.
Nice.
Quick question.
Less, that's not bad, but
quick question. I want to tack on to Mike's question. And so how do you guys feel about I'm sorry, Paul, just real quick. Add this into your response though.
Sure.
How do you guys feel about Mario Wonder being in the potential game of the year contender?
I see
Landon?
it.
Really?
I see it.
Paul, you got to be with me on this one. I know. Okay, Mike, you're with me. Okay.
When I played it at
Why
Nintendo
not?
Live, personally, I said this is going to be one of my contenders for Game of the Year, probably, if I have to whittle it down to, like, I don't know, a top 5, top 7. Also, not just personally, but I think it's going to be hard to deny it that if you are IGN, GameSpot, 1UP, well, that doesn't, we don't exist anymore. I get used to saying 1UP because I used to be for 1UP for many years. Game Rankings, Game Pro, every other kind of magazine that still exists. I still think in magazine terms. See what I mean? Websites, Game Awards, and you're looking at, let's see, what are the top 7 games that we reviewed this year? We got a 96, a 96, a 95, a 94, a 93, a 93. Well, those are the top 7 that deserve it. And Mario being 93, that's one of the top games of the year. So it's going to be hard for someone to be like, you know what? We're going to give it to these 3, skip Mario, and give it to these other 4 that are below it. Like, well, why didn't you include Mario? This is also what happened. Forza Motorsport. Not everyone's cup of tea. Played on the smallest install base in Xbox Series X, but it was one of the highest reviewed games. So a lot of people thought, that's not going to be it because it's not action, adventure, first-person shooter, story, over-the-back, complex geometry, gameplay. You push A to accelerate, you turn left and right. But so many things in it were so accurate that it got such a high score that even though it doesn't seem like the kind of game that fits, it was nominated in many outlets things. So I think Mario, even though it might be seen as it's a simplistic 2D game, it's going to have so much depth behind it. And if that score sticks and it still has that 93, how are outlets not going to say it deserves to be a contender and pick something that has like an 89 beneath it? Like, no offense to Pikmin 4. I think Pikmin 4 is one of the best games of the year too. But if Pikmin 4 is in people's nominations and not Mario, and Mario has a whole 6 points higher, well, what's up? Why?
Yep.
Bias against the genre.
I really want to hear what Vandy and Landon have to say. I'm excited.
I want to too, and I feel bad because I want to. Not that I want to.
I want to hear from Liz's hair.
Shit, go.
Does your hair like to make a statement?
I mean,
all its new fans.
My overall opinion is I'm very much so on Joyce's side, where I think opening weekend, I don't think it's gonna sell as much as we expect it to. Mainly because, especially coming off of the hype of the theme parks and the movie, everything else, every single parent who has a kid who is invested in Mario is saying, this is going to be a great Christmas present. This is going to be a great whatever. And I don't want to get it now because then when Christmas comes, what are you going to ask for? So I think that we'll probably get a lot of numbers from like the diehard Mario fans who have been waiting on their hands and knees, begging the Mario gods to give them a crumb. And then they got 10 billion crumbs. But I think it will definitely grow over time. And by the time it ends, it's going to be a really high number for what it sells. I just don't think it's going to happen initially. Even just from working at GameStop and just seeing all the different kind of the way turnout would actually realistically happen for all of these bigger games like Sonic Frontiers, whatever. We just didn't really have a lot of people showing up opening weekend. And then it would be like the week after, a week and a half after, where they're like, hey, do you have any copies? And we're like, no, because people didn't pre-order. And because people don't pre-order, they don't think people are interested. Therefore, we don't get copies. And so from someone who's worked a little bit more behind the scenes, I would expect it to kind of fall under that category a little bit. But I think by the time holiday's over, the number's just gonna go pew and be insane. So I think somewhere between 7 to 10 seems very reasonable for just Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
It's a bet. So anything above 10, then basically you have to, if you say it's lower than 10, then you have to wear a Princess Peach crown to the next podcast.
I have to find 1
billion.
I did say 1 billion as a joke.
If it doesn't pass, if it doesn't pass 10, then anybody who said 10 and up wears a Princess Peach crown to the next podcast. Go on eBay, go on Amazon, get your little crown, and you wear it to the podcast. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Deal.
I'm gonna go.
If it's above 10 million.
Bye, Paul.
All right.
Hi, everybody in chat too.
All right,
Sorry,
find Paul at Paul
Gill
Gill Network at YouTube and also on Twitter and also on Instagram.
Yeah.
And also on Instagram at Paul Gill Network. Thank you, Paul. And with that, that's a good segue. Where can we find you guys? Let's start with Landon. Where can we find you and what do you have going on this week?
Wait, Mike. They didn't finish answering the question.
Who answered a question?
You asked about where does everybody think it's going to fall sales wise, and I asked how do they feel about Game of the Year. And Landon has to go soon, so I kind of wanted to hear him and Vandy's because their opinion's different from mine. I'm really excited to hear it. I'm sorry, I just wanted to know.
All right, so let's do this. Let's do this. So what was the question, Joyce?
It was your question. How much do you think Mario Wonder's going to hit its opening weekend, and why do you think, or it could be or could not be a Game of the Year contender? Okay, so let's go ahead and do that, answer that, and then at the same time, you can go ahead and plug in your social media and stuff like that. Good? Yay!
Mm-hmm. All right, Landon, take it over.
All right. Well, to me, it's going to be Game of the Year. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
Straight up. I love me some Tears of the Kingdom, but this is going to be Game of the Year to me.
Okay.
But, I'm looking at this, and here's one question I have, because when we're looking at the Metacritic reviews and all that stuff, it still blows my mind that Metroid Prime's remaster is up there. Now, do they include remasters or remakes in Game of the Year nominees or no?
I've never seen one before.
I think The Last of Us, one of the remakes, was nominated.
Okay. Well,
maybe somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was nominated.
It's hard because where I got to step back as a fanboy and see, what people are going to want to nominate. And when I see this, even people that I know that own Switches and buy a lot of games, they're not even they're like, okay, cool, new 2D Mario stuff, but they're like, Mario Odyssey, Die Hard. I love Mario Odyssey. Where's the next 3D Mario? They text me every day. When's the next 3D Mario coming? Because they don't follow Nintendo news up to date. So they're like, I'm looking for this. And then I'm looking at this list. You still there's a lot of games this year. You have Hogwarts Legacy, Resident Evil 4.
Mm-hmm.
To me, Jedi Survivor is up there, as the same way Tears of the Kingdom was a sequel and just expanded on that. I mean, that game completely expanded on the first one. And I mean, I don't know if you include like fighting games, Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. You know, you have Final Fantasy, Armor Core, and then obviously you still have Spider-Man coming out. I mean, Starfield,
Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then I mean, I would even like to see Pikmin 4 up there. I don't think it's going to, but I mean, there's just so many spots to fight for, and it's going to be tough. I mean, if you ask me, of course it's going to be on my list, but I'm a little hesitant. But yes, I'm Nintendo Land. You can follow me, Mario everything. I am. You're never going to see any other game for the next 2 months on my channel besides Mario Wonder. So get ready. We're getting ready. Yeah.
And he has fantastic content, guys. You're not gonna like if you have not subscribed to Nintendo Land. I'm telling you, you're not gonna regret it. One of the best Mario content on YouTube.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Are you doing a launch stream?
I am coming home at midnight and I am just recording gameplay.
Yes. Awesome.
For like 3 hours.
As long as you can stay awake. Okay, great.
Yeah, exactly.
Bandy, what can we find? Did you already say how much they're gonna sell?
I'll keep it brief. I'm gonna say 6 million. I'll be the low baller here. Because I think people are gonna say I'd rather have Mario RPG, so I'm not gonna buy Wonder. I'd rather have Thousand Year Door, so I'm not gonna buy Wonder or RPG. I feel like with 3 Mario games coming out, it's actually probably gonna hurt the sales of Wonder because I just feel like if they don't get one, they can get more. Plus, what Linz was saying about how it's a couple months before Christmas. And I feel like the voice actor change also might have just rubbed people the wrong way. I feel like a lot of random timing factors will hurt the sales more than help it. Unfortunately, that could just be me. Being like a negative Nancy. And I don't want to be that. But I'll probably say about 6 million. I'll be the lowest here. And I don't think it's gonna be a contender for Game of the Year. I don't even think it's gonna be the best game that Nintendo produces this year. I think Tears of the Kingdom is gonna blow this game out of the water just based on the amount of time, the amount of content, the things you're able to do. Not to say that Wonder is going to be bad because I mean, it does look like the best 2D Mario game that they've ever created. But like Landon said, the entire list of games that he even said, like this game was insane. This year was insane for games. Whether you're a Nintendo fan or what, you have so many incredible games that all released within the last 10 months, which it feels like some of these games released years ago, but 2023 was crazy. So maybe in a different year, I would say it was a contender, but I feel like there are just too many good games that were released this year for me to confidently say that a 2D Mario game, as incredible as it could be, is going to beat out some of these insanely, like just these insane masterpieces. And also I'm Vandy323. Follow me on YouTube and Twitch and Twitter. I do a lot of Pokemon stuff, and the new direction of the channel is going to be crazy.
Kill.
Nice.
Lance, take it away.
Hello.
Wait. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. Lynn's hair. Take it away.
Sorry,
yes, we have to get a comment from Lynn's hair.
Sorry, this is Lynn's hair. She's pink. It was dyed on Subathon because chat said to do it. So I said, okay. And you can find us as a package duo on the platforms known as Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube, all at Lynn's Vids. It's kind of cool, kind of crazy. I do a lot of Pokemon content. I do a lot of cozy content, but it's just tomorrow is my rough idea as to when I'm gonna be back, just so I can get in hopefully a few streams before Vandy and I go to convention next week.
Noise.
So, and do a lot of traveling. So, as a heads up, we might be here next week. We might not be. It all kind of depends on what the travel plans are. But just to give you a heads up ahead of time.
Nice.
But that's where you can find me.
Nice. Take it away, Joycey. Where can we find you? How much will Mario Wonder sell?
I'm gonna stick with my 7 million. Nice. And my argument for Game of the Year nominee, I don't think it's gonna win because of the but nomination because of the reasons Vandy said is I kind of agree. Like, but Nintendo got released games this year that are high on Metacritic, and usually and so is Spider-Man still high. It's above a 90. It's a 90 or above. I think it's 91 or something. I forgot. I had it up earlier. Baldur's Gate, I think it was like at 94. Am I right? Old brain, y'all. Don't get old, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So there's all these different factors, but because of the fact that Nintendo has managed to really bust out like banger after banger this year, most of them all being above 90, that's my reasoning that it may not win, but I think it would be contender just based off of if the score continues to hold or go higher. So that's my prediction. And I'm Joy C. You can find me on Twitter, aka X, at DJ Joy C. I am a Zelda fanatic. So if you have any questions about any game at any time and need to know how to beat something, some of you guys have reached out to me and said, I'm in Ocarina of Time and I don't know how to find the last key in the water temple. It's like, okay, this is where you go. I'm totally happy with answering your questions or discussing more.
Nice. And we still have a video coming up pretty soon with Joy CJ, and really cool video. We talk about Zelda. I had to take it down because somebody claimed it and then went all over. So I'm editing it, re-uploading it, and it's coming soon. It's a really cool interview. Not interview, more like a chat between friends about Tears of the Kingdom and a whole bunch of other stuff.
It's a discussion.
Discussion coming soon. And I am gonna stick to my guns and say 10 million, 10 to 15, 10 to 20 million. I'll say that opening weekend. And I will also say it will also be Game of the Year contender. You know, if we want for Tears of the Kingdom, I would say Mario's gonna be the Spider-Man. It's gonna be out Baldur's Gate. It's gonna be out everything, man. I'm just gonna say I'm gonna go to the extreme end. Mario Wonder is gonna be
Mario Warriors.
Mario Warrior.
Make it a Warriors game.
Warrior
oh
game,
my
right?
God.
Hey, hopefully he's a playable character in the future DLC. You know, right?
I'm just saying, just all Mario characters. Warriors.
It'll be awesome. It'll be awesome.
That would be so lit.
And you can find me here at the Odyssey Monday through Friday news. I have new content coming. I have a new series called Etsy Treasures. I have a couple friends on Etsy who are sending me a lot of really cool stuff to show off on the channel, from Tears of the Kingdom shields to swords to boxes. Like I mean, it's gonna be awesome. It's called Etsy Treasures on weekends. Besides Nintendo news, and of course here at the Nintopics Podcast. Thank you guys for accompanying us today in this podcast. We went a little long today. Normally we do like an hour and 30 minutes, and we extended just because it's just a wonderful it's a wonderful day to talk games. And we haven't been here. We haven't seen each other for a while either. So, you know, we had a lot to say. Anyway, we see you guys in the next podcast. But before we let you go, we got two things we got to let you know. Number one, land it.
Oh, you can't throw me on a spot like that. I wasn't even ready for that.
that's why I picked you.
Never give up.
Never give up.
And number two, everybody else at the same time. Unisim.
Journey on.
Journey on. Wait, hold up. Hey, I got it. That's not it. All right. See you later, guys. If you can't see me, but I'm waving. Guys. I'm waving. Thank you, guys. See you next week.